Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new Animal Crossing New Horizons video. Today we are looking at 5 things you still didn't know were a thing in New Horizons. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So we are approaching the 6-month mark since the initial launch of Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is nuts. The time is flying by considering just how long it felt like we were all waiting for the release. Despite that, the hype is far from over, as we are of course also expecting a fairly sizable full update in the coming weeks, which is expected to add brand new features, seasonal holidays and even new characters to the game, so it's a very exciting time to be playing. Plus, New Horizons is still rocking the video games charts with tens of thousands of brand new players every single week, so it's really great news knowing the community surrounding the game is constantly growing. Now with this in mind, it is of course that time where we take a look at a bunch of features, different details and tips and tricks that you probably didn't know were a thing in New Horizons. Of course, it is impossible to highlight secrets and things like that every single player doesn't know since we all play differently, but hopefully both new players and experienced players discover something new. So please leave a like on the video, it helps out so much, and let's get into it. Number 1. Stop a villager moving. Now even the newest players probably already know if you have more than 6 villagers living on your New Horizons island, every couple of weeks a random resident will be thinking about leaving and moving away from the island. Unfortunately, this is a completely random process and there's no way to increase the chances of a specific villager to leave, which sometimes leads to your most beloved or favourite character wanting to go. Of course, if you see the thought bubble above their head, you can choose to ignore it or speak with them and tell them to stay. However, every now and then you may accidentally wish an animal good luck and tell them to leave. Or you could get really lucky and agree for someone you don't like to leave, but afterwards have a change of heart. The good news is it's entirely possible to reverse this decision and stop someone leaving after you've told them to go. If you tell a villager it's okay to move away and afterwards you change your mind, all you have to do is log in as a second island resident using a different Switch profile and find the villager. Assuming your second resident has spoken with the villager before, their thought bubble will reappear and they will once again tell you they're thinking of leaving, at which point you can decline and tell them to stay. Doing this overrides the previous decision and your favourite villager who you accidentally told to leave will no longer move out. You can do this at any point up until the villager is in boxes the next day, so it's a very handy trick because I know a few of you have experienced losing some of your dreamies by accident. It's also worth mentioning this doesn't work the other way around, so once you've told someone they can't leave, the thought bubble won't reappear until they're randomly chosen again next time. But what do you think about this? Have you accidentally moved someone out and instantly regretted it? Or did you know about this trick already? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Number 2. Critter spawns. Now with each new month in New Horizons we see a transition with the critters that can be found around the island. Seasonal changes bring even more than a typical month too and often introduce larger, rarer and more valuable critters. Furthermore, since the summer update we not only have fish and bugs to catch, but all new deep sea creatures that can be caught by diving underwater. Of course, the ultimate goal for most players is to catch all of these different critters available and donate them to Blathers at the museum. But what you may not know is some of these fish and bugs have to be unlocked before they will even spawn, which may be why some players spend hours searching for specific sea creatures only to come up empty-handed. For example, the golden trout, that is already a rare fish that spawns in rivers on cliff tops, is only unlocked when 100 fish have already been caught beforehand. Of course, if you've been playing since launch, you've probably passed this milestone without even knowing, but newer players who have caught less than the 100 fish criteria will never see a golden trout spawn on their island until they do. This is the case for all critters, with bugs like the horned Hercules and the giraffe stag not spawning until over 100 bugs have been caught. So if you're struggling to find specific creatures, this may be why. Number 3. Star Fragment limits. Every month our islands will generally experience several meteor showers as a mixture of light and heavy showers, with heavy showers seeing constant shooting stars all night and the far more common light showers seeing small bursts of shooting stars every so often during hours with clear skies. Of course, the light showers are very easily missed but are extremely common and often happen a couple of times a week. Now if you see one, you can wish upon a shooting star by looking up and pressing A. With every wish, a very rare star fragment crafted material can then be found on the beach the following day. However, a common misconception about this is there is in fact limits on how many wishes you need to make and how many star fragments you can receive. The maximum amount of star fragments you can receive is 20 on any given day per player, so you don't need to waste your evening making hundreds and hundreds of wishes when only the first 20 will actually spawn fragments. Now this limit can be increased to 40 if you have visitors or friends visit your island who also wish on your behalf. However, a player who doesn't reside on the island must make 5 wishes to receive a single star fragment. Therefore, to receive the additional 20 fragments the next day, taking your total up to the maximum of 40, visitors must make 100 wishes, if that makes sense. Now the good news is this star fragments limit is based on each host island resident that uses a different Nintendo Switch profile, so if you have multiple residents they can all make their own wishes and receive their own 20 star fragments, increasing the total even further. What's more is all the visitor wishes, so the 100 wishes for an additional 20 fragments, applies to each resident individually, as long as they've logged in during the shower. So for example, if your island has 2 residents who made 20 wishes each, gets 20 fragments each, and the visitors who made 100 wishes gains a further 20 for each resident, resulting in 80 star fragments the next morning. With this in mind, it's definitely worth using multiple residents during showers. Just be sure to regularly clean your beaches throughout the day to ensure they keep spawning. Number 4. Pearl Diving. Pascal is one of the latest special characters to be added to New Horizons and of course randomly shows up when you catch a scallop whilst deep sea diving. Once he does appear, he'll offer to take the scallop off your hands and in return reward you with either a very rare mermaid DIY recipe or a pearl. Pearls are a very rare crafted material and fairly desirable since not only can they be sold for 10,000 bells each, but they're needed to craft the exclusive mermaid furniture items. Of course, you can only encounter Pascal once per day, which limits how many DIY recipes and pearls he can reward you, but something you may not know is obtaining pearls aren't limited to Pascal and they can also be found out in the wild by diving underwater. There is in fact a 1% chance you can find a pearl by diving underwater when hunting for deep sea creatures. The good news is there are a few signs to look out for if you're specifically searching for pearls. In the water, pearl shadows are no larger than the player's hand and they remain stationary underwater. Because they don't move, they only give off 2 or 3 bubbles at a time and they float up in a straight line. So if you're swimming in the water and see this bubble pattern, there's a good chance it's a pearl. Using this method, you can swim around avoiding large sea creatures and focus on hunting pearls. But what do you think about this? Have you had much luck finding pearls, or do you get enough from Pascal? Let us know in the comments. Number 5. Stop fossils spawning. Moving on, we have a nice simple trick to help those who have completed their museums or no longer wish to look for new fossils every day. Currently 4 new fossils spawn every day, but if you've missed the fossils from the previous day, you can have up to 6 fossils spawned on your island at any given time. Of course you can dig these up, get them appraised and sell them, but if like me you're in the middle of completely re-terraforming your island, or you have a fully developed island and you no longer want them to keep spawning in random spots, all you have to do is rebury 6 fossils somewhere hidden away. Personally, I've buried mine along the cliff at the back of my island, which will eventually get hidden by weeds and trees. The reason this works is because the game checks how many fossils are currently in the ground before spawning a new one, so if you dig them up and move them somewhere else, no more fossils will spawn. It's pretty neat. So there we have it. That was 5 features and tips and tricks that you might not have known about. But what do you think about these details? Did you know all of these already? Or do you find the tip about stopping a friend moving out super helpful? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Anyway, for now, that pretty much wraps up this video. If you're an Animal Crossing fan, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any New Horizons news. Until then, I'd like to give a special thank you to this channel's Patreon supporters, as well as this channel's members. You guys absolutely rock and truly help me upload as regularly as I do, I couldn't do it without you. Don't forget to head over to our Discord server too, and of course, if you made it to the end of the video, please comment fossil just to let me know you did. That would be super awesome, and please be sure to include if you're up to date with all the critters you can catch around your island. I'd love to know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining. Please be sure to leave a like if you did. Thanks for watching, I hope you have an amazing day, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.